Hello, Flash Anime bringing you a series review for Majestic Prince that just ended, and I wanted to talk about it because one of my surprise hits of last season, because that's technically when it came out, right around the time we had Valve Rave and Gargantia for the other mech shows. I'll talk about those later. And to start off, it's a 24 episode series by Ginga Kikōtai, which all they're doing, or all they're known for right now is like Yuri, which is a popular series. They have 2 seasons. Good Job Club B, whatever, and Love Lab, which is currently airing this season. And it's kind of weird seeing this studio do a mecha series because all the shows I just mentioned are really more like slice of life, or Yuri-ish type shows or comedies. So it's like really rare seeing them do this kind of show. But to jump into it, the story is basically kind of your basic survival thing. You have aliens attacking the Earth, and the Earthlings, have to stop them by using whatever technology they have. But, of course, our technology doesn't work against them. But we have this other team that they use these big old giant mechs and things. And you can find out more about them later on as we go through the series. I'll talk about that in a little bit. But the basic setup is you follow these five little teenage kids. And they're like a team. They're like, I guess, genetically engineered humans. So, they have like a no past, so they don't have really memories. They have no parents, no father, no mom, and they really have no future because no one knows how long they're gonna actually live. They have a certain lifespan because since this is wartime, people just die. There's just no, guarantee you're gonna live till you're like an old man or anything. And yeah, the team that we follow is like there's like Kei, Tamaki, Izuru, Shigeru, and Asagi. This is your main team. And to go through each of them, I would basically describe it maybe like a, if you've played any MMOs or any RPG games, you have like tanks, DPS, and healers, support classes. And for me, I would, classify like Kei. I would classify her as the support. Basically, her machine scans the area and she gives people info on what's going on around her. And her character type is like, she's kind of like a mothery type. She kind of babies a lot of the characters and kind of acts like the mom type for a majority of the series. We have Tamaki coming up next to her, and she's kind of the tank. Her suit is really like it's just like a big shield basically. And her job is to basically rush in and take as much damage as she can, or break through lines and things like that. Should be the tank, like I said. And her personality, she's kind of like the sister type to all the characters. She's kind of annoying and she's very hyper at the very beginning. She has the most fun around the other characters. She's a goofy character, and obviously for her, she's the fan service character, while Kei is not. So, and then we have Izuru, which is technically he's the leader of the group. He has the red machine. And I would classify him as like the heavy DPS fighter. And yeah, he's the hero type. He just wants to be a hero, and that's basically what he does in the very beginning of the series. He's all about that for his character. Then we have Shigeru. He's the ranged yellow mech. And he's just like ranged, like I said, like a sniper rifle, other weapons like that. And he's the kind of perverted type. He's always thinking about hooking up with chicks and girls all the time. And he's kind of a goofball. And then we have Asagi. He's the kind of like default second in command. He's kind of angsty. At the very beginning, he doesn't really like anyone on the team. And I would classify him as like maybe the second DPS. And coming up last, close to the end of the series, they introduce a new character that joins their team. And his name's Angie, or her name, whatever you want to call it. And this one's very weird. He's the same as the others, he's high DPS, and his personality is kind of weird. When he's not piloting the robot, he's calm and quiet and kind of girly. But when he's piloting his machine, he's very aggressive and in your face. Gotta get the kills. He doesn't really care if he's gonna die or anything. He's just all about fighting. So he's very aggressive. Now we have the characters, and for me, the best character I think would stand out is probably Izuru and Asagi. because, you know, the series is more about Izuru being, he's the main focus, and we follow him through his journey of learning to be a team player and sticking up for everyone, just being the hero that he wants to be. While Asagi kind of takes, he doesn't really make a point to the series until like close to the end, when they kind of, spoilers, do reveal that he is related to Izuru. They shared the same DNA from the commander that he wears that goggles on his face. He's technically their father, but he's got their, I guess he gave him the DNA. And the princess type, she's, I think they've described her as the mom, that her DNA is also in them, giving them the ability to pilot these robots. And the other spoiler would be, the robots are actually, I think, technology from the aliens. They kind of adapted that into our technology and kind of combined both of them. So technically, the main cast of characters are half alien, half human, if you want to get down to it. Which gives them the ability to pilot these robots, like I said. Which is kind of a neat twist. I mean, even though we've seen this before, like in Evangelion, I mean, in that series, if you haven't seen it, you know, the machines are technically living beings or living things. But after all the things with them being related, they just, Izuru kind of goes berserk in one episode, and he just fights like a madman, just like Angie. And near the end, they kind of say something that it's endangering his health, so Izuru kind of has to step out of the last final fight, but of course he has to jump in and save everyone. And while those two characters are kind of the main characters, the other characters do have their time to shine. I mean, they do get their bits and moments to do what they have to do to get the team going. And but for me, the sad part is probably like the cool side characters. You know, I won't spoil who dies, but there's a lot of cool side characters there. Just like, you know, you instantly are like drawn to them because they're just so interesting, so fun to watch. But they start doing these triggers for their deaths, and, you know, the death flags. And they're typical things like, oh well, I have a girlfriend back home, I'm asking to marry me, or I'm gonna retire. Just things like that. And they just, you know, when they're saying these lines, you just can't help but, you know, feel that these characters are gonna die. And yeah. Aside from those things, we had CGI. Usually CGI anime is not so great, but for this one, it was definitely really good during the later end fights when things get really intense. Especially during the fight with Izuru versus Jaito, I think that's how you say his name. He's like the prince of the alien race, and basically he fights him the first time. He senses something in this human. He doesn't really know he's human, but he senses that, like, this is, you know, my rival. I found someone that makes me want to fight all out. In the last episode, these two just, you know, kick each other's asses. They're beating the hell out of each other's machines, and they have to like go to like level 2, or, you know, transform in order just to fight each other. And that was kind of nice, just seeing Izuru kind of go berserk a little bit. But obviously he has to stop and regain his hero side, and he does become the hero at the end. He does save everyone with the help of you know, the whole entire fleet. So. And for some random things to be the comedic moments with a character named Randy. He's like this veteran fighter, and he's kind of like a mentor to Izuru. And he shows up one day, you know, with the guys, and he's just like, "I got something to show you." It's something that is kind of interesting. So basically, he takes him to this room, and he shows him a adult movie, a porno, basically. And we had Shigeru. He's the one that's always wanting to get with the girls. He's just looking at it like, oh my god, he's freaking out like it's disturbing him. He doesn't know what to make of any of it, cause yeah. So that was definitely funny, you know, just some of those moments like that. And even in the beginning, they had these comedic moments with the team, kind of like butting heads or just, you know, just arguing all the time. Some of those moments are funny, but then some of them are kind of like, just get to the actual stuff you want to see. So, I mean, I don't really have anything else to say about this series other than if you like mechs and things, you know, this is more of a mech show. At the time we had Valve Rave and Gargantia. I would definitely rank this higher than both of those. Even though I know Gargantia is kind of a different take on mechs because it's not all about the robots. But yeah, Valve Rave is more supernatural, I would say, kind of out there. A lot of people didn't like it because it's not traditional mech, which Majestic Prince is really, I think, break it down to. It's like, if you like Gundam, you're a big fan of Gundam or anything like that, you can probably get behind this. It's really fun. And for like the final thing to say about this series, season 2, I would love to hear it. I mean, I did see there was an announcement for a possible season 2, so hey, look out for that. It might happen. And the final score I would give this series is probably a 9 out of 10. I mean, it's very enjoyable, but at the rate when I watched it every episode every week, it did drag on for a while, so it's probably better in marathon mode, which is, you know, watch. If you get past the first 5 episodes, you might like the series. But, yep, hopefully they do a season 2. If not, that's fine. I had fun with this series. And that's pretty much my review for this series, so see you guys later. Peace.